On February 13, 2021, 57 senators, including 7 Republicans, voted to convict ex-President Donald Trump on one article of impeachment. That number was 10 shy of the number needed for a conviction on the charge of incitement to insurrection. However, the impeachment trial left us with several questions. What led the House of Representatives to interpret the president's words as incitement? Can other legal entities prosecute the president for incitement? By the time all the votes were counted in the 2020 presidential election, it was clear that this had been an election like no other. Former Vice President Joe Biden received more votes than any presidential candidate in history. However, President Trump received the second most votes of any candidate in history. The fact that Trump ran about 7 million votes ahead of his 2016 vote count and still lost led Trump followers to believe that the election had been rigged. This conspiracy theory was promoted by Trump with help from social media outlets and even some cable commentary programs. More responsible elements in the media referred to Trump's claims as the big lie. On the day before Congress was to convene to certify the results of the Electoral College, security forces in Washington, D.C. alerted Mark Meadows, the president's chief of staff, that right-wing groups were planning to mass at the Capitol. According to the June 28, 2022 testimony of Meadows' aide Cassidy Hutchinson to the House committee investigating the events of January 6, 2021, she accompanied Trump, Meadows, and the then head of security Anthony Ornato to a rally on the ellipse across from the back of the White House. For security reasons, anyone entering the rally site had to pass through magnetometers. Some entering the area surrendered weapons. Others refused to enter, evidently not wishing to surrender weapons. According to Hutchinson, when Trump surveyed the rally, he asked for an explanation as to why it was so small. He was told about the deterrent effect of the mags. He immediately ordered the screening to stop and to let all comers in. He was overruled by security forces and became irate. Once he calmed down, he led a delegation on stage to speak to those in attendance. Addressing demonstrators, Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump Jr. preceded the president, firing up the mob and thus establishing a context for the president's remarks. A short film was screened. It purported to identify the enemies of the president, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer, touted the lost cause, and then filled the screen with one word: fear. Trump then emerged and urged his followers to march on the Capitol peaceably.